several practical realities that we had to deal with in evolving the look of a cow. Partly in how we're scheduling the shoot meant that we weren't able to do very radical hair and makeup changes, which is a difference from the book. Showing the journey of the kind of boy to man through his clothing was one of the things that we really wanted to investigate in his character. Of course, he grabs a bag of clothes in the first episode from his bedroom and then wears those primarily for the rest of the show. So that is a difficult thing, but we have taken advantage of places where we were able to have him find some clothes, grab a bag of clothes, acquire clothes from other places, because we knew the end of the story at the beginning. A lot of his clothes have reference to, particularly the prints on his t-shirt and things, have reference to elements of the story. So he has, right at the very beginning, when the whole action starts and he's first being chased down by the guys in masks and he doesn't know what's going on, he's got a Caesar bust on his shirt, and the Caesar shift becomes important later on. Many of his t-shirts have kind of crown or king kind of prints on them. So it's a subtle thing that you're not necessarily going, oh, look at him in the prince outfit, but there's a subtle kind of reinforcement of his storyline and the path that he's on. Creating the character of Winter is particularly interesting because she plays a lot of roles for a lot of other people. She puts on a lot of hats to suit the situation she's in. She dresses for Sligo in a very particular way. He calls her princess and she really plays up to that in the way that she dresses for him. So she has these various looks that sort of come together and synthesise into a more relaxed look as we go through the series with her as well. I really love both Oriana and Sligo and kind of their entourage because they're really different and really distinctive. So most villains don't necessarily show their stripes straightforwardly, but for both Oriana and Sligo, they're characters who have come from nothing and built themselves up in very different ways, but built themselves up to being successful, moneyed, high status people. The character of Oriana has an incredibly structured and detailed, Art Deco influenced, but very structured line because she's a pretty full-on person. She's built herself from the ground up, and you can see that in the construction of her clothing and the silhouette of that character. She's not a lady to be messed with lightly, and that's pretty evident from how fiercely dressed she is. They call it power dressing for a reason.
So here's the magic moment.
Here we go. Magic. Does that feel nice and firm?
No, it feels nice. It feels nice and firm. Beautiful. It won't come off. At the audition, the script we were given to learn a week before mentioned that the character breakdown had all this stuff about her just loving wigs and wearing lots of different kinds. And so for the audition, I kind of teased my hair. I didn't dye it, but I teased it and kind of made it a bit big and a bit buffy and a bit over the top because I thought, oh, that's the character. Anyway, I get to the audition and I do it and they seem pretty happy. They said to me, why do you have your hair like that for? I said, oh, because it said the character breakdown of Oriana. She wears these crazy wigs and has this hair and they said, oh no, we might do something a bit different. Can you just take it down?
I'm getting trussed up like a little piggy. We've got a bit of an action adventure shot right now. So as you can see, I won't show you all the flesh, but look, that's the sort of thing that keeps actors alive.
And Sligo is again all about the appearance. He doesn't want to be seen anymore as a thug, so he's working really hard with his tailoring. He wears a lot of suits, but he wears them with his own personal flair. He's got all of the finishing, all of the detail, the cufflinks, the signet ring. This is the best thing probably about playing Kelvin in Conspiracy 365. This, and these. My beautiful boots. If I can't buy them, I'll steal them. Because that's what Kelvin would do.